Hi, I'm Professor Ben Aldrich. I'd like to spend a few minutes with you explaining and illustrating basic elements of music. This should provide a foundation for your development throughout the course as more informed listeners. I'm very confident that this organized approach will result in your having a greater appreciation for the art of music, one that you'll hopefully carry forward long after the course is finished. First, a definition of music itself. Music is sound that is organized, and it's organized in two ways. The first is physically. Musical pitches are all individual speeds of vibrations. It could be of vocal cords, it could be of strings in a piano when they're struck by a hammer, it could be my lips when I'm playing the trumpet. Music that is consonant or pleasant to listen to is comprised of pitches whose vibrating speeds have a simple mathematical relationship to one another. The more complex the relationship of the pitches that you're hearing, the more complex the listening experience. Music is also organized formally. Composers create a pattern of repetition and contrast, usually using bits of melody to create a flow of tension and release that will hopefully engage the listener, carry the listener along with them. Let's start by listening to and watching a little bit of music. This is an animated representation of a performance of Richard Carr in 6 voices from a work called The Musical Offering, composed by Johann Sebastian Bach. He developed this piece from a musical theme, a melody, that was composed and given to him by King Frederick of Prussia in 1747. Bach composed a series of pieces of music based on this one theme. And this piece of music, which you've just heard the beginning of, is universally recognized as being a great masterpiece in this style of composition, which we call counterpoint. It represents the culmination of hundreds of years of evolution in the composition of music by many, many generations of composers. So, here are the basic elements of music. I'm going to present them to you one by one in the order in which they would most likely come to your attention as a listener. Today's video will deal with the first 3, instrumentation, rhythm, and melody. Instrumentation is very, very simple. It's just whatever you're listening to, whatever instrument. including the voice, which is our natural instrument. The instrument you're hearing here is a harpsichord. It's a keyboard instrument. It's a predecessor of the piano, used mainly during the 17th and the 18th centuries. It produces a sound by a mechanism that causes the metal cords inside the instrument, just the same as the ones in here, to be plucked like guitar strings, rather than hammered as they are in the piano. The workings of the instrument are such that it cannot change volume, so you hear a steady level of loudness when you're listening to a harpsichord being performed. This mechanism also gives the instrument its characteristic timbre, this metallic sound that the instrument makes. Let's listen to a little bit more and take in some of that. Unlike painting and sculpture, which have physical presence, which exists in space, music exists in time. The rhythm is shown in this video as just the movement of the symbols across the screen. All the little symbols that you see, the little diamonds and ellipses, are individual notes of the piece, and the rate at which they move across is the tempo or the speed of the music. Let's watch a little bit more and take care to notice that while the tempo remains steady, the amount of activity rises and falls. It changes. It's very easy as a listener to confuse how active the music is with how fast it's going. Those are both important aspects of rhythm. Now we come to melody. Melody is very simply pitches happening one at a time, which means it's the coming together of pitch and rhythm. On the screen, the length of the notes is represented directly by their size, and the pitch is represented vertically, just the way it is in written music. Melody is readily recognizable to most of us and provides the basic building blocks of form in most kinds of music. If we go back to the beginning of this piece again, we can see a clear introduction of the main theme of the piece at 1, 2, and then 3 different levels of pitch. The rhythm and the sequence of the pitches are the same each time. Entire theme, second voice now, in a higher register. Now we go lower to the third voice. That concludes today's presentation. I'll be back with you very soon to explain texture, harmony, and form, at least begin to explain them. I'll provide you with more detailed information about each of these aspects of music during the beginning of the course, Then we'll examine the vast array of musics that people from all over the world and all throughout history have produced and are continuing to produce. Using what you'll learn about the basics should better inform the way that you interact with this magnificent art form of music. Thanks for your attention.